All right, guys, today we're going to talk about writing linear equations, and particularly we're going to talk about how do we write a linear equation in all three forms, giving a line that goes through a given point with a given slope. So we know if we have a slope and a point, we can use our point slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, and remembering that m represents the slope, right, which we were given here, 7. Our x1 is 1, and our y1 is 2. And now it's just a matter of plugging in. So remember, y1 again is 2. Our slope m is 7. And our x1 is 1. So we just make sure all these line up, right? Okay. And then from here, this is already the first checkpoint. It said in all three forms, right? You may be wondering, what are all three forms? Well, first off, we know there's point slope. Then there is slope intercept form. So let's write this in. This is point slope. Slope intercept is y equals mx plus b. And then standard is ax plus by equals c. So we already got point slope. If we want to turn this into slope intercept, then we just need to distribute the 7 inside here. And we have y minus 2 equals 7x minus 7. Add 2 to each side, and we have y equals 7x minus 5. So this is slope intercept form. And if we want to go into standard form, which notice how the ax and the by are both on the left side of the equals. So that means we would need to move this 7x over here to the left side. And we do that by inverse operation. So subtract 7x from each side. And we have negative 7x plus y equals negative 5. But we don't like to lead with a negative, so we will multiply each term by negative 1. And when we do that, right, when we multiply each term by negative 1, then we would get out 7x minus y equals 5. And that's standard form. Right, that's standard form. All right, so that's kind of review. What happens if we're given 2 points, right? What happens if we're given 2 points and we're still asked to write a linear equation in all three forms? Then, instead of us immediately knowing the slope, we actually have to find the slope. That's the first step, is to find the slope. And we already know that if we're given 2 points, to find the slope, we can put it in a table. And then find our change in y and divide it by our change in x. So the change in y here is positive 12. Our change in x is positive 3. So the slope then is 12 over 3, which is 4. We can let this first point be our x1, y1. And now we have everything we need to plug it into point slope form. So that would be y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Remember, our y1 is -3. Our slope is 4. And our x1 is 2. All right. So from here, this is point slope form. So that's one of the forms, point slope. If we want to put it in slope intercept, we continue to simplify and solve for y. So we would distribute the 4 inside. And this becomes y plus 3 equals 4x minus 8. And the only other step from here is to make sure the y is by itself, so we need to subtract 3 from each side. So this is y equals 4x minus 11. So that's slope-intercept form. All right, last step is to take the 4x, put it over here with the y, if we want to turn it into standard form. So we subtract 4x from each side, and we're left with -4x plus y equals -11. But remember, we don't like to lead with a negative in standard form, so we multiply each term by -1. So that becomes positive 4x minus y equals positive 11. And that's our standard form. And now when we talk about a table, we're going to do the same thing as we did before. We're going to first find the slope. But there's a mini step above that. And the mini step is to choose 2 points. So I'm going to choose 10 and 100, 20 and 200. Put that in a table. And I'm going to find my change in y and divide it by my change in x. So that this becomes 100 over 10. Since this is my first set of points, I'm going to let this be my x1, y1. And now I'm going to plug it into y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Don't forget that the reason I put it in point slope form is because we have a slope and a point. So let's go. So we say y minus 100 equals 10 times x minus 10. From here, this is point slope form. If I want to put it into slope intercept form, don't forget we go ahead and distribute the 10 so that we're left with y minus 100 equals 10x minus 100. Add 100 to both sides. And we have y equals 10x. That's slope intercept. And then from here, we subtract 10x from both sides. So that we're left with negative 10x plus y equals 0. We don't like to lead with a negative, so we're going to change the signs of everything. And we're able to do that because we multiply by -1, so that we're left with 10x minus y equals 0. And that's standard form. If we have a table, we just choose 2 points. right? This point is 2, 4. This point is 0, -2. Put it in a table so that we can find our change in y. Put it over our change in x. That slope is 3. So now we just plug in our point and our slope into the point slope form. So this is y minus -2 equals 3 times x minus 0. Then this is point slope form. So we already got one form. To put it in slope intercept form, remember to distribute. And this is y plus 2 equals 3x. Subtract 2 from each side, and we're given y equals 3x minus 2. So that's slope intercept form. From here, we subtract 3x from both sides. We have -3x plus y equals -2. Remember, we don't like to lead with a negative, so we just multiply each term by -1. So that we're left with +3x minus y equals +2. That's standard form. So we have all of our forms. Standard. That was slope intercept right there. And this is point slope. All right, we're going to talk about how to do this in the calculator in class.